Hey, my viewers. So if you ever branched out into the world of movies recently, you would know that a new Thor movie came out by the name of Thor Love and Thunder. Now, as a non-Marvel fan, I would usually overlook this release, as it is yet another sequel in a random Disney movie series, but apparently, this release is a big deal because I got invited to watch this movie 3 separate times, more than I got invited to watch any other movie. Like, I don't know, maybe I started talking to more people, but still, it was interesting. That's why I decided to make a review to articulate my thoughts on if this movie was a big deal after all, or if it's just clever marketing and summer, I guess. Oh, and by the way, this is going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't watched the movie, watch it and come back, or if you don't care, just carry on, I warned you. But if you want a non-spoiler review for non-Marvel fans real quick, it really depends on the circumstance if you should watch it. If you're into mythology and or history, definitely watch this movie. If you're not into mythology and or history, but you have a friend that invited you to the movie, definitely go with him. You won't regret it. And if you don't have either, well, are you okay with paying how much money to see a mediocre to decent Marvel film with jokes that you might not appreciate? If yes, go. If no, then no. So I think the main selling point of this movie is its imagination and world. I think a mythological world is always amazing to see, a kind of fairy tale-like atmosphere that lifts your mood and gives you a good experience, and I feel like this movie delivers on that premise beautifully, creating a world of dreams while capturing your mind in this beautiful mystic experience, along with combining that mystique with science fiction and some of its own creativity, which works amazingly. It doesn't feel like a made-up simulation, it doesn't feel fake, it feels like a team of dreamers put this world together from their heart and soul. Of course, in reality, it's probably Disney trying to suck profit from an audience of mythology and history lovers, but it's still a pleasant experience. You know, I'm into history, right? And one of the reasons I like history is because of the totally different worlds that the people used to live in. You know, nowadays we have cement, stone houses, cars, and sometimes that can get boring. And I find entertainment in worlds of the past where people were more down to earth, I guess. Mythology, though I'm not into it, has the same appeal, except it's more mythical and perfect. And this movie has that aura, and that's why when a new Thor comes out, and it will, don't worry, I'll definitely go see it just for that aura because it was amazing. The plot was pretty good most of the time. Like, I was sitting next to this girl, and at the end of the movie, she was like, how much crack cocaine do you have to be on to write a plot like that? And I was like, well, I don't know, it seemed decent enough to me. Like, okay, the majority of the plot made sense. The new Asgard plot was imaginative, the Jane Foster cancer thing and ex-relationship was a bit of drama. Okay, that's a good thing going. Everything was chill, except every part that has to do with Gore, but we'll talk about that later, don't worry. The characters, all except Gore, were welcoming and amazing. Thor, as always played by Chris Hemsworth, was amazing to watch. Natalie Portman was doing her thing. Valkyrie was a fun character who was interesting. Russell Crowe as Zeus was really awesome to watch. Russell Crowe really managed to pull off that overeaten, narcissistic version of Zeus with the accent and stuff, which was wonderful, although I'm still a bit pissed that they didn't hire a real Greek guy to play him, but that's alright. Crow did alright. And the kids, well, they were kids, annoying as always, except Gore's daughter Love, which looks like a kind of mini female Christian Bale with her teeth and accent, which was really cute. Like, you know, like, especially after watching American Psycho, it was pretty funny to see a mini Christian Bale. That was it was heartwarming. The fight scenes were probably the best I've seen in any movie for like 2 years, definitely. I mean, the last Marvel movie that I've seen was probably Avengers Endgame, and that movie had good fight scenes. But the thing with Thor is that Thor really goes all in on his enemies. Like, he hits hard, and the fight scenes, in my opinion, are way better and extreme on this Thor movie than on Endgame. There's just something about how Thor fights like a Viking all in that makes this experience more extreme. It was amazing. Now, so far I've been praising this movie, but now let's talk about what kills this movie. First of all, the jokes. For me, every single joke in this movie ranged from slightly uplifting to disgusting / completely unnecessary. The movie was trying so hard to make me laugh, and I was just sitting there like... There were so many of them. Just when I thought they would stop making them, bam, there were 10 more. And this is what really ruined the movie for me, because even though I could look past them pretty easily to see the better side of the movie, they were always just there, nagging me on, and I couldn't really take the movie seriously. However, humor is subjective. For example, I went to see the movie with a friend, and after the movie was finished, he was like, the movie was so funny, and I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, maybe I just don't have that type of humor, but the jokes really didn't do it for me. And the second thing that grinds my gears about this film is the main villain, Gore. He's played by Christian Bale, who is probably one of the most talented talented actors ever due to his utter devotion to his roles. And in this film, he gave an amazing performance as usual. Like, you could really see that he was putting in effort to give an amazing performance. But the script writers, they screwed him up. It's like giving Max Verstappen an old Renault to go race in Formula 1. He'll give an interesting performance, but he won't make it to first place, I'll tell you that. His beginning was weak, like his main gag was that he wants to kill all the gods, and that's a colossal thing to do, like you need a lot of motivation to execute that. But his motivation is just, oh my god, didn't save my daughter and laughed at me, I'm gonna kill them all. Like, this doesn't feel as colossal as his goal. Like, I know this sounds kind of stupid, like, they did laugh at him when he lost his daughter, but to me it felt kind of childish that he was doing all of this. Like, there wasn't a big enough motivation, in my opinion, to kill all the gods, to change something colossal in the universe. Like, maybe the sword makes him act up like this, but they never mention that, and it feels like it's really him acting. And they made him into a kind of goofy Disney villain that just doesn't feel serious. There's this one scene where he comes to the children he's kidnapped and just terrifies them unnecessarily. Why does this scene have to exist? Just delete it, it's completely unnecessary. He acts like a child. But the worst offender in this is how they wrote the ending. So he makes it into Eternity's Vault. He has the power to bring death upon all the gods, and he's dying, so good, he achieved his life goal. Then Thor goes like, no, it's not revenge that you seek. It's love. And he just drops everything and wishes for the arrival of his daughter? Like, what? Like, what? Like, he was so determined to kill all the gods a second ago. He was dying so he could never see his daughter grow up because of the gods. It's the gods' fault. That was your whole motivation for this entire movie. Why are you listening to one of them and reviving your daughter instead of wishing death upon all the gods? Furthermore, he then asks Thor to protect his daughter. Like, are you seriously gonna trust one of the gods with your daughter after you wanted to kill them all? What if Thor puts her in an orphanage and just forgets about her? How can you know that he's not the same as all the rest of the gods? Oh yeah, because he loves Jane Foster. Are you serious? Have you ever heard of mafia bosses that love their family to death and then kill everyone else? Yeah, what if Thor's like that? I mean, of course, good guy Thor would never do that, but still, how can you know that he isn't gonna do that? But yeah, it's just a BS ending. It ruins the entire movie, honestly. If it weren't for the ending or Gore, I'd forgive the jokes. I'd give the movie like a strong 8 to a light 9. But now I'm disappointed. I'll give this movie a strong 6 to a light 7. Yeah, like a 6.5. Yeah, somewhere. So yeah, I guess bye.